Okay, and here we are, Coach Babjack. We're a teaching team, and for the 256 interviews, and we're in our third interview now. And let's see, who's up next on our list? It looks like who's next?
Kristen. We have Kristen next.
We have Kristen next. Okay, Kristen's up now. You looked at her notebook.
Yep.
I reviewed her notebook, and her notebook was pretty good. It was solid. I don't think it was target, though. Her bulletin board was quite good. It was instructional, and it really looked like she spent some time. The picture was a good quality and so forth. Her interviews, there's two appendix F and
I have
G.
that too.
Yeah. The first one was really good. The second wasn't as in depth as I'd like to see. So she interviewed the students, the three students in Appendix F, really well, but not up to snuff on, not the same level in the personnel interviews in Appendix G. So I thought that could have been a lot better. I didn't really catch any misspelled words, or did you?
Nope, not at all.
Okay, good.
No.
So, all right. So let's see how she does. I think her notebook was adequate, not target. What do you think?
Yeah, I just have a solid notebook.
Okay, solid notebook.
Just
yeah,
adequate.
so it was adequate. Okay, so now let's see how she does on the interview. She right now we're about 3 minutes early, but she's supposed to be early. So let's see if she's here.
All right.
Okay.
I'll let her in.
Is she Kristen here?
Yep.
Hey, there's Kristen.
How you doing?
Good, how are you?
Can you make it a little bit firmer? There we go.
Yeah, you need that firm handshake. Hi, Kristen. I'm Dr. Malmberg.
Kristen Aston Reese, nice to meet you.
Okay, great. Nice to meet you. Have a seat.
Would you mind if I close the door here?
That's fine.
Okay, Kristen. I see you have your note card, so you're ready to go. That's good. As you know, this is a 15-minute interview, and it'll be in two parts. The first part, you've prepared two standards to speak to two standards, and one of them has to do with number 6, professionalism. Everybody has to do that one. And then you chose another one. What was the other one of the
number
6?
5, planning and implementation.
Okay, you chose number 5.
And why'd you choose that one, Kristen?
I saw some interesting ways that my host teachers assess their students.
Okay, that's good.
They were concerned with gathering data to prove their students were learning. I think the APPR was clearly on their minds.
The APPR, that's on a lot of teachers' minds. So they were doing different assessments to try to prove that students were learning. You saw some interesting things there.
Yep, that's why I chose number 5.
Okay, good. Well, I'm interested in hearing about that. The second half of the interview, we'll ask you any question that came up from your notebook and so forth. So why don't you start with number 5, okay? You can start with number 5. Okay. Okay, those are good answers.
Yeah,
those are
exceptional.
Exceptional answers, really good answers
Good detail.
on number 5. And I really liked your detail on that. That was quite good. And the teachers were doing some interesting things. Glad you got to see that. It's part of the experience, trying to take in as much as you can in this 256 experience. So then the second question you've prepared also for standard number 6, professionalism, right? So you have notes ready to go on that one?
Yep.
Okay, so you're going to speak to that one now. So I'll start off. We have to assess 4 parts of that. And the first part is, in what ways did you collaborate with your host teacher? And how about other professionals in the school?
I collaborated with my host teacher, Bai.
Okay, good. And there's several other parts. So the next part that we want you to speak to has to do with ethical behaviors. And this is a question on Standard 6 professionalism that a lot of our students don't do well on, mainly because they don't understand what ethical behaviors are. So that particular question under Standard 6, I want to make sure that you understand. Ethical behaviors have to do with not crossing certain lines. We have ethics in our profession, and teachers don't cross certain lines. So how did you address ethical behaviors?
Okay, I addressed them by.
Okay, good. Great. good question, or good answer, Kristen. And now the second part of the interview, we can ask you any question we want, and we'll go for about 7 or 8 minutes now. I'm curious, you interviewed the best teacher in the school. That was, we called it in the notebook, we called it the exemplary teacher. How did you choose that person?
I chose the exemplary teacher by.
Okay. And what was the single biggest thing you learned from that teacher?
The biggest thing I learned.
Okay, great. Kristen, you did a really good job in your interview. Thank you very much. We're going to ask you to step out now. Okay?
And then we're going to call you back in.
Okay.
In a minute or two.
And we'll call you back in. Okay, what do you think here, Coach? That was not bad. She answered questions pretty good.
Yes, I thought that she was very in-depth. A lot of detail, a lot of reflective information.
You know, I was hoping she would do well, because her notebook disappointed us a little bit in some of its depth, so she got adequate there. But now we're looking at our rubric for the interview, and I'm looking at the target, and she was early. Her dialogue was respectful of an experienced host teacher, of her experience and the host teacher. I really thought she was very articulate. I mean, if she was in an interview for a job, I would think that she's articulate. She articulated things. She's very thoughtful, very detailed, and then she definitely reflected an understanding of standards. Clearly, she understood. She knew effective teaching when she saw it, and so she seems to line up pretty well with target on the rubric. So target, you'd agree then?
Absolutely.
Okay, so target on the interview, and the notebook was acceptable. So that she'll end up getting a B because of that, and that's good. She'll find that out later. So let's invite her in. She passed. So.
All right.
Okay, Kristen, come on in. Congratulations, you passed your interview.
Thank you.
And the notebook as well. So you're now on your way to the C block and 355.
Thank you.
Okay, you're welcome. Thank you.
Way to go. Okay.